Hey, it's been a minute since I did a video about my books because I've been doing a whole lot of other stuff and trying to focus on other things right now. This has never not been a focus, like in the focus, but just a lot of other stuff going on right now I need to take care of. But I'm going to be back on pushing my books when I'm done with school. Something happened this morning, and I was asked a couple of questions about this particular book because we have an issue with controversial topics, what's considered controversial here in the U.S. The things we forget to tell. This book here is an educational book, just like the other 3 books. The other 2 for smaller kids, and the book Stay for preteens and teens. It's a lot of human trafficking going on. It's a lot of sexual assault going on in households, in schools, out when your child is supposed to be playing at a friend's house. Stuff happens. Fortunately, it don't happen to everybody. Unfortunately, it does happen to somebody, leaving some child in a position to have to grow up broken. And as I stated when I wrote this book, I was one of those children. I was molested at the age of 6. My sister was 4. With this book, this is me, this is my sister, and this is my mom. Okay, even though we're always around sometimes, stuff still can get by somebody. I'm not blaming it on that parent that's there doing their best. I'm blaming it on the pervert. Because if they wasn't crazy and messed up in the first place, we wouldn't have to be worrying about that particular situation or issue with our kids. But this book was written hopefully as a prevention measure, but as if not, and it's too late to prevent it, and it's already happening to a child, to give them the strength to speak to a parent or somebody else in the family to get them out of the situation that they are in, and not by their own free will. They are being forced to be in those situations. They are just kids. I was lied to. I was told as a child, if anybody touches you in the inappropriate places, to let me know. So, I was ready to do that. But then this slickster came along and he added in, he told me that he would kill my family if I told. That my mom would get rid of me and I would never see them again. She wouldn't want me anymore. No one would pay me any attention because I was a child, and as children, you do get brushed off a lot by adults because we think we know what we're talking about when we're kids a lot of times, and just don't have any business in adult conversations. So it made sense to me. I have had to live with the guilt that I didn't go to my mom and tell her. And my sister had to suffer through molestation because I was too afraid to speak up, because I was afraid of losing my family, either to death or me being shipped off to foster care or somewhere, per the pedophile. This book is to prevent. I was asked, let me get to this. Don't I think it would be inappropriate for a child that has not been a victim of sexual assault to read this book? Or for somebody to read a child that has not been a victim of sexual assault this book? For one, a lot of times you don't know when a child is being sexually assaulted because they're too afraid to tell, because the pervert is scaring them and stopping them from telling. 2, why on earth would we want to wait until our children are being molested before we teach them ways to know when somebody's doing something wrong, or let them know, okay, he told me he's going to do this, but mama told me or daddy told me that he's doing that to make me scared, and to still tell them. Why on earth would you want to wait until your child is a victim, or your niece, or your little cousin, or your best friend's child? Why on world in the world, anybody, baby? Why would we want them to wait? This is to prevent. Teach them some of the things that a predator might say to frighten them into not telling. We don't want to wait until they become a victim and they have to live with that for the rest of their life. We want to stop it before it starts. And if we can't stop it and it's too late and it's already started, this child can see some of the things he probably told her, or she probably told him or her, and know that they still can come to the parent. You still can go to your parent, because this person is just trying to intimidate you and stop you from telling and saving yourself at that point. Because if nobody knows it's happening but you and the pervert, the pedophile, how on earth, who else is going to save you? So unfortunately it's in the baby's hand. We need to give them the weapons and the tools to be able to do that. They feel like I felt like I had nowhere to go because he told me he was going to kill my family. But if I had known that they say things like that to prevent us from telling, maybe I would have told, and my sister would have never had to experience anything. So my mom taught me what she knew. And now I'm trying to teach children what I learned on top of what my mom taught me firsthand from a predator. They're gonna lie, and some of them may do it. So that's all the more reason for you to want your child to be able to come to you early. It's children going 5, 6, 7, 8 years being molested, and a parent don't know, because it could be a family member or somebody at a school or one of their little friends or something like that, or one of their friends' brothers or sisters. Little boys don't want to tell, because that's not going to feel good and look good for them. So they don't want to tell, because what young man or little boy want to tell somebody that another man is touching me, or a lady's touching me? With the way that we teach boys, they shouldn't tell and man up and all of that stuff. These boys are kind of like, a lot of these baby boys out here kind of like alone, and probably feel so alone because they don't know what to do. And we leave them out a lot. So for the boys and girls, bad touch. It tells you right here, this is about bad touch. And it's a guide that you should read to your kids, your small kids. I said from 5 to age 11. We can read to them younger than that, but a lot of them may not understand some of it. But there are 9-month-olds, 1-month-olds, babies in the months being molested. So how could 9 years old be an inappropriate age for a book teaching them what to look for and giving them an outlet? Oh, in the book it said this, that, and the other, and that's what he said. I'm going to go tell my mom. That's what we want before it happens. You want to stop it before it happens. I ended up becoming the caretaker for my molester. Why would we want our kids to have to go through that when they get grown? Because we didn't want to mention that this type of thing does happen. So just in case, let me go over this with you so you'll be prepared and you'll know what to do. I'm going to give you the weapons to help you get out of these situations when you're young. So if it happens somewhere down the line, you'll know what to do, or have a better idea of what to do, and you won't be so scared by what they may tell you. It's not a good feeling to have to care for somebody who violated you. So this book is not a nasty book. it's a book for children. You know, our kids are still meeting up with people, strangers offline. And you gonna act like we gonna sit out here and act like this stuff ain't happening? You got daddies that try to marry their own biological daughters. You got mothers that'll mess with their sons and or their daughters, but vice versa on both cases. So we want our children to live their best life, and we definitely don't want anybody stepping in there, violating them, messing stuff up for them, because it goes with you for the rest of your life. It don't just go away when you get a certain age, and it might show up in different ways. The woman meets a man and she's afraid for the man to be around a child. She don't trust him. Male don't like to be around other guys that don't trust or don't want to be nowhere near another dude because of something that happened to him when he was little, or older women, or whatever the case may be. This stuff lives with you, and it may not show up until you have kids of your own. So this is what things we forget to tell on www.janicefry, without the E, FRY.com. This is what this book is about. And I'll do a video for the other books also. I got to study now. But I just had to do that because that question just threw me. Don't you think it would be inappropriate for a child that has not been sexually molested to see this book? Oh, adults. It's not about you. It's about that child and saving that child. We get real selfish. Everything about us. I don't want so-and-so to know that I talked to my child about that while all the while your child is possibly being abused. Just because you are the only one in the house, you think it's not happening. But when little baby go out and play with her friends and go over to so-and-so house, so-and-so's over there touching her. But you would not talk to her about any of that. We got to do better as parents, as adults, as leaders for our children. And this is for everybody's children. These rabbits, my daughter, who was 8 at the time, she came up with the concept for the rabbits and drew the initial pictures of the rabbits. She read the book. She gave me the okay on the book. See y'all on the next video.